Right then. Here we go again on a Tuesday night. Sprint championship. Let's go again, as we've had, well, what? Hello, say standings. We've had, what was it? After 8 rounds, won 9 and 10 today. We've had 7 different winners. Yep, we've had 7 different winners from the 8 rounds we've had. So possibly that can change again. Winners so far: Joe's won 1, Staber's the only repeat, Rigo's won 1, Reaper's won 1, Jack's won 1, Major and Swen, the other ones that have actually won so far. So Staber's here, Rigo's here, Swen's here, all winners. Reaper is as well. So 5, I think it is. Reaper, Joe, Rigo, Swen, Staber. Here I've actually won 1. We shouldn't be that far away from going. Waiting on 1, maybe 2 people. Rainbow and someone else. Well, New Squid in particular, but Rainbow could be coming as well. Al will be here for the second race. So we're going to get some more people as we go along. But the Williams could be very interesting today. Joe and Staber. Again, it is just a case of how long can they keep this on track for. Because if they can't keep this on track for very long, then we might see another one. We might see a different winner. As for people to watch out for today, True Current at Red Bull, if he can get himself toward the front, would be hard to pass. Robin and Alpine could be interesting. Same with Boomer and an Alpine as well. How many laps can M survive? I'll give you 6. Give you 6 laps. But yeah, nothing wrong with sprint on a Tuesday night. Go to sleep and then wake up being 20. Maybe I start moving on to wheel after tomorrow. Not entirely sure yet. We'll wait and see. But, oh, there's the 16th person. Who's the 16th? Oh, Noof is here. See, the M was very much right then, saying he was offline. Noof in a Red Bull. It's just a shame he doesn't usually have the pace to compete. But I think that means we're actually getting ready to go. We are. Could not have been more wrong. Wow, Truco. Wow, that's just... that hurts coming from you. Wi-Fi is struggling. Donnie, your Wi-Fi is not the only thing that's struggling. I'll say that much. Thanks, son. But yeah, here we go. One-shot qualifying in Brazil. And then we've got a 25% race here as well. Brazil is usually one of those Really nice tracks to drive. First sector's a little bit annoying, but you get past that, it's usually great. Didn't that long ago have a race here in GT. I think it was it was last night, GT in Lagos. So Brazil seems to be a common factor on the channel at the moment. It's not the case come Thursday though, because it's Miami for the 50%. I want to check that out. Wet race. Oh. Oh, this could be chaos. Okay then. Okay then. A wet race is that could be interesting. Alright, here we go. We go through. I'm gonna put the track map up. Telemetry up. Oh, there goes Donny! Whoever his internet was, his internet is lagging a bit there, actually. He's up to 9th. He had an awful first corner. Let's have a look. We see up the... Oh, Reaper's gone. Do we look through the coming through the beginning of the second sector now, into the most technical part of the track by a country mile. Joe not having a good time. Bloodwave at the moment, currently rolling through sector 2 in provisional pole. Staber in second though should be rather interesting. We never usually know what Staber we're going to get. So well, Staber so far this season I think is just winning and then DNFing. But Bloodwave looks to have this one all under control. We go through the second to last now. And well, up through the final straight we go. And to the line, and I think this is all Bloodwave doing. All the way down to the finish, and he's on pole in the first race, and Truco is going to be second. He might prove a huge problem for those behind. Bloodwave's not complaining, because the longer Truco stays there, the easier it is for him. Staber currently sits on the second row with Bouma. Staber looking to be a 3-time winner in sprint this season. El Truco has well, definitely got a chance here at that Red Bull. And spun in the final corner. Nothing new there. That would explain your 18 seconds back. But it's no dry, yeah, no DRS with that as well. So it's going to be incredibly hard to overtake people, I think. It's a good lap from you, Truco. It's a good lap. But yeah, that's your grid for the first race. You've got Rigo in 6th and Swen in 5th. So those two sit on the 3rd row. Could be looking to make some inroads off the start. I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, no. Yeah, there you go. That's your confirmation of rain. Whenever it says you can't see whether or not it's going to rain or not from qualifying, it won't let you. You can see where it says R and then the picture underneath. That's what you have to go by. Because the actual timing for qualifying, it won't tell you anything. Yeah, so it won't tell you anything for the race. So you've just got to go ahead with what the game is telling you for the race itself, rather than in particular for certain times. It's just no way you're gonna be able to use that. But here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out, away we go in Brazil. Who's gonna get the better start? It looks like the better start has well and truly gone to Bloodwave. He goes into turn 1, quite a distance away. Truco sliding a little bit through turn 2, and then into turn 3. May have just got tapped a little bit by the Williams, and then goes Robin. I think that is in the background. A little shove there from Bouma in the Alpine. is not allowed to do an awful lot. Truco just gets blazed past by Staber. Staber's going to be able to go through turn 4. Oh, and into the Red Bull he goes! Lost the traction. He lost traction himself into the wall, and Staber ending, well, not quite ending, but very much impacting both his and the race of Truco. Both of them into a wall, one round turn 4, one round turn 5. Got a few people fighting in the back of the grid as well. TV wants to shut off, so stop that from happening. Yellow flag in sector 2 is, I think, the Aston Martin Rigo having a problem. Oh, that McLaren in the background, Reaper all over the place. As Robin still sets himself up in 5th at the moment. Boomer's probably going to get reported later on by Robin. Now, it looked like Robin gone a little bit wide through the corner. Maybe opening the door up for Reaper here. And it looked like Staber's going to stay... He's going to stay out, sorry, and overtake Will in the process. It looked like Reaper's going to try a switch back here on Robin, and it looks like he's got it very successfully. Oh, well, he did until he pushed Robin off the track. Cut him off. Didn't really allow for an awful lot of space there. Maybe thought he had much more speed than he actually did. He gets a little bit shaky through the corner, through turn 4 as well. Reaper up to 5th, but it was questionable how clean that overtake was. Top 4 seemingly decent way clear at this point. Reaper 1.5 seconds back of Joe, who tacked himself on the end of a 4-man train. Him, Boomer, and the 2 Alfa Romeos of Swen and Bloodwave. Currently the 4 at the front of this race. Donny and Terminator going at it. Donny looked like he just lost a position to the Alpine though, and the AlphaTauri versus the McLaren, it looked like the McLaren's going to win that one actually. The McLaren got a little bit more pace there. Gets him on the corner on the 3rd to last. And, well, I'm not going to be too happy with that. Robin's going to have a go here at the Aston Martin of Mildy. They're going to go down to toward turn 1, and they're going to be side by side. Who's going to have the better exit? Into turn 2. It looks like Robin has got him. They're going to go round the corner. Robin gives him a plentiful amount of space there. Much unlike what Reaper did in the lap prior to Robin himself. And it looked like Robin finally got that move off by the time turn 4 hit. It looked like Donny and Saeed was going tooth and nail the back there as well. Saeed got a little bit too deep into turn 5. And then up through turn 6 we go. We've got battling in the midfield. The front, everyone seems to be just together but not really doing anything. As we go through the end of the 2nd sector at the front of the grid. The front 4 though having quite the distance at this point. Quite the distance clear of everyone else. Saeed and Adam going at it, and it looked like Saeed might have won the first battle there. I'm actually going to watch this now. Saeed may have won the first battle, but it looked like Mildy won the overall battle. Donny's internet is having a seizure. They go through the final corner now. Saeed was a little bit too deep into the corner, and now we're going 3 wide. Here we go, 3 wide. We've got Mildy and Saeed. And not going to put up much of a fight to Mildy there, but he does get one, and he's going to get the second one there through turn 3. As it looked like the Aston Martin just having an absolute nightmare of a corner. And the McLaren is now in front of him, also getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. On lap 4 of 18 here, it didn't look like we're going to get anything other than the rain here. Staber closing in, no front wing. Well, a damaged front wing, sorry, not no front wing. Against that McLaren of Reaper in front. Bearing in mind the incident earlier between Staber and El Truco that, well, effectively killed off any chance either one had of winning here. Joe still closing in on Boomer. Not really enough to make anything happen though, with these 4 still relatively together. Bloodwave pulling out a little bit on Swen though. as the Alfa Romeos right now sit 1-2. Saeed's coming to pit. Not entirely sure why. Take up and gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane in the process as well. So that was just a moment of madness there from Saeed. Maybe his damage is the reason why he pit. Either way, oh, we've got a yellow flag. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, Erm's gone. And Mildy went as well. So there's 2 there. They had a little bit of an incident going through the first part of the track. Definitely had one through turn 3, and he didn't look like he had the greatest of first sectors whatsoever. Here comes Joe on Boomer, right alongside now. Yellow flag in sector 2 is again. Just not handling this track, not handling the wet, not handling the game so far. Well, we've got people battling. We've got Boomer and Joe. It looked like Joe had Boomer for a slight second. Gets 3 seconds for track limits. But up at the front here, Boomer's going to hold his position. Staber and Reaper. Staber cleared him into turn 1. So Staber's going to make that move up into 5th place after his... Oh, Bloodway's out! Bloodway's out! Looks like he's done a worse version of what did in the prior lap. Maybe too much of that outside curb on the exit turn 3. Bloodwave was leading and he'd done a Staber. He's done a Staber, he's done a Denja if you want to go back to a season or so ago. You can use that reference. And from the front of the race, DNFs and what looked like he had in the bag is just not going to be good news for him whatsoever. Swen has won a race so far this season. So has Joe, so has Staber, so has Reaper. So if we're going to get an 8th winner in 9 races, Boomer's got to get something going here. We've got a safety car out as well. As we go through, Saeed's at the back, 14th, Truco 13th, all had their pits so far. Noof, so a lack of pace. Mildy, Rigo both span at early points in the race. And their races have definitely suffered as a result. Cunning Fern, I don't believe, had a lot of pace. He's just in there and thereabouts. Donny's got no internet and it could prove hard to overtake in the next few laps. Robin had his incident with Boomer. What on earth is happening to Donny? What on earth is happening to Donny's internet? Let's go on board with you. No effect, there's a lot we can see. But yeah, Robin had his problem earlier on. Reaper had a bit of a problem trying to get round in turn 3 as well. He shoved Robin off the track. So Robin's been involved with both admins in this race. Oh, sliding, is slid, and he'd gone round. Oh, under the safety car, is having a nightmare. We got that in all its glory as well. Everyone's starting to catch up though. We're not going again this lap. Safety car had already been called in. If that was the case, looks like El Truco is going to catch up to the back of the pack pretty soon. Reaper needs to hurry it up. As we see everyone starting to bunch up again. Staper still managing to hold on without a front wing. Or without part of his front wing at the very least. Sits himself in 4th at the moment. Joe 3rd, Boomer 2nd, Swen 1st is the current state of things. As for the championship, going into this race, I believe the championship leader is currently sat in 2nd, I think. Yeah, he's currently sat in 2nd with Will, who is 2nd in the championship at the moment, sitting in 6th. Stable with a chance to do something in this in the standings. He's only been fourth for Dunf in this entire season, but currently sits about 40 points back. He's got to do something against Joe sooner or later, though. Still having nightmares. Oh, well, how have you not got damage from that? Just sliding into, through turn 3 into a wall and every single lap. Honestly, I think Bloodwave's going to look at that and think that his race should be over. But it's going to be and Saeed, they're going to be tailed off. Not going to join back on this safety car, so we're going to go to the safety car that's coming in now, and Sven's going to lead us in. Yellow flag in sector 2. Gone again. Under the safety car, he's not had a nice time. As we line up to go again with the Alfa Romeo of Sven after the safety car called by the Alfa Romeo of Bloodwave. And Sven is going to go, and it's going to allow for Bouma to pull alongside straight away as they go into turn 1. Sven looks to keep the position though. There's an Alpine and a McLaren fighting and a Haas fighting at the back. Colin Fern loses a couple of positions immediately to Aston Martins. And Mildy lost a couple of positions, maybe a little bit of a tap going through. Donny's internet is having a seizure still. Joe currently in third. Got a decent gap there to Staber, who's trying his best to hold off Reaper's attack at the moment. Will in sixth, not quite having the same time as he would have expected. Donny is ghosted now, as his internet is so poor that this game will not actually let him collide with anybody. Rigo goes on through as well, up to 8th. Yellow flag in sector 1, yellow flag in sector 2 goes for Saeed, and also goes for in the same place yet again. Robin goes up ahead of Donny as Donny is still ghosted. And Donny up to 7th now. Looks like he got ahead of Robin for just long enough. Oh, there goes Aston Martin. Yellow flag in sector 3 for Aston Martin as Mildy goes round. It looks like Robin a little bit too deep into the final corner there. He goes gets himself 3 seconds worth of time penalties. He also lets Donny be a little bit clear at the moment. Truco on Rigo, and they're going to go too wide through turn 1. Donny and Robin looked like they were going too wide through turn 1 as well. Robin got in front. At the front of the grid, you've got Boomer and Sven headed down into turn 4, and Sven lost position on the at the front of this race. El Truco got ahead of Donny, and those two are going fighting through turn 5. And Sven's had a bit of a problem because now he's got Joe on his back, and he's got to get something going soon enough, or he's going to start plummeting down this order. Joe looking for it in the middle sector, maybe slightly too far back. Sven's already dropped off the second marker. Gets 5 seconds to speed in the pit lane after, and retires after numerous spins sat there in turn 3. Everyone's still fighting within a second outside of maybe the top 4. Donny and Truco going at this time, but Donny's internet is just having a problem after problem, but it's allowed for Truco to get in front, and it's also allowed for Rigo to go past as well. Donny's going to be a shot here from Donny's going to have a go being attacked here from Rigo. They currently sit 9th and 10th going through turn 3. Maybe a mistake going to happen from one of these two drivers. May open the door for someone else. Truco slowly closing up to Robin, but going to have to get a move on quickly. Further up. Oh, Donny's out. Oh, Donny's left the session, sorry. The internet kicked him. It's not great news for him. Do we go through the middle sector here, too wide, into what is definitely the most technical part of this track. A little bit of a bump there from Sven on Joe. Maybe to the outside, Sven goes looking for a switchback here, but he's nowhere near good, nowhere near clean enough, and nowhere near quick enough to get that switchback happening either. So Joe's going to take second, and he's now got a second and a half to chase down that leading Alpine, which so far hasn't won a race, has ended second though. in the prior one. So we might have 8 different winners from 9 races at this point in time. But Swen's going to go down the inside of Joe here. The late break from Joe is going to pull him alongside, and they're going to go too wide. Oh, and a little bit of a collision there, as Joe's going to be able to hold on to the position just because the little bit of tap on the front sent Swen's car a little bit sliding. Well, that's going to open the door here for Staber, who might look for it in the next couple of corners. Reaper also tacked on the back of this. Reaper's now, as soon as I say that, he gets 3 seconds worth of time penalty, so it turned out that wasn't really worthwhile in the end. And Truco, look at that, that's a nice move. It's also nice late braking from Robin here, but it's not enough to hold off Truco, who goes round turn 6 and then completes it by the time turn 7 hits, and is up to 7th, trying to chase down the horse of Will. As Robin is literally shoving him through the corner at this point. Joe has closed in half the gap that was there on the last lap between him and Bouma. We've got about 6 laps to go now. We've got an Alpine and Rigo having a bit of a battle as well. They're going to go tooth and nail alongside the Donny behind them, who is apparently back. Not entirely sure, considering he's still ghosted. Here we go. Robin's going to go down the inside of Donny here, even though Donny is ghosted and is technically not down the inside, but Robin's going to hold the position in front of Donny for now. New Squids, sorry, has got 3 seconds for track limits. Donny's still in 10th, Robin now holding on to 9th, Rigo creating himself a little bit of a gap, but is too far behind Truco to make anything stick. Or even get within shooting range, as Truco is within shooting range of an overtake on Will here. Oh, Reaper sliding! Reaper sliding! Oh no, it's not Reaper, sorry, it's Saeed, sorry. Wrong McLaren, he's ghosted. I thought it was Reaper for a minute, my bad. Reaper's still a little bit too far in Will for that to happen. He was still under attack by Truco. Donny is back, so he is actually back this time. His horse was just having a good go at it last time. Saeed a lap back. Staber gets 3 seconds worth of time track limits penalties as well. So we go through people having penalties left, right and centre. It might up Will to about 4th here. Joe was within 6/10, isn't able to get anywhere near Bouma on the last couple of laps. It's opened up to 9.5, up to a second now, and well, we've got a yellow flag into turn 3. That's Robin. That's Robin. Yet Robin's well had a bit of a problem there. Not quite out, but it might as well be going into turn 4. Joe has closed it in within 6/10 of a second now. Is definitely far better in sector 2. The more technical part of the track is opening up for him now. He is really close to that gearbox of the Alpine in front. Robin drops to 13th, still almost a lap ahead, if not an entire lap ahead at this point of Saeed, who's had a nightmare in this one. Joe versus Bouma here, headed into lap 15. Is Joe going to be able to match him on a straight? I wouldn't have believed so in an Alpine versus the Williams. This isn't Spa 2022. And it isn't the case here. So Bouma's going to open that gap up to about a second again. It's whether or not Bouma can hold him off for long enough in the corners that he can get to a straight and open the gap. It looked like a little bit deep there from Bouma into turn 3. Might open the door for Joe in this current lap at their 6/10 now. The cornering ability of Joe is definitely better than that of Bouma's, and Bouma's going to have to hold on for, well, an entire sector at this point as they go 3/10 between each other, and Joe might pull alongside. Here he is, Joe down the inside of turn 7. It's still not cleared Bouma yet, but he has now. So that's a bit bullying. But Joe has definitely cleared Bouma at the front, so he gets 3 seconds worth of penalties at the back. And Joe has now got to clear a gap before the straight hits. Bouma now under fire from Sven. And Robin gets an extra 3 seconds, so that's time penalties added on for both of the last 2 remaining drivers. As Bouma has definitely got a quicker pace down the straight. He's just not quick enough. And Joe's going to hold him for a little bit longer. Boomer's running out of time. He's under fire from the Alfa Romeo behind him. And, well, if he's going to win this, he's got to get a move on. The cornering is going to help the Williams out here. And as soon as they hit that cornering sector, Joe should be gone. It looks like Sven went a little bit too deep into turn 4. It's opened the gap between him and Bouma. They go up through turn 5 and then turn 6 and now turn 7 as Boomer's going to hold second for now. But he is a second and over a second now behind that Williams. And, well, that Williams is going to have to make a mistake now as he's clambered through the pack and up to the lead. And there's no real stopping him right now. And I think that's Robin in turn 2. Having a bit of a nightmare himself in this race. Just not enjoyed the wet. Got fights all down the grid. Rigo trying to fight with Truco, who's still up there with Will in 6th, 7th and 8th. Staber's trying to tack himself on the back of Sven, but his penalties are going to be what cost him later on. Joe sets the fastest lap of the entire race. And, well, Boomer's not able to catch up, and you have to feel at this point he's holding Sven up. It's Bouma really not able to do anything here, and we might have our second repeat winner of the season. And, well, no surprise here, it will be both the Williams having 2 race wins apiece. As we go through the second sector now, Bouma 1.5 seconds back. They'll only get bigger of a gap because Joe is just far better at going through the cornering sections of the lap. It's over 2 seconds now. Bouma having to now defend from Sven like his life depends on it. With a lap and a bit to go, Robin goes into the pit lane and he's got 5 seconds for speeding as well. Sven is closing in, but not by enough. When Bouma hits the straight, Sven's not able to do an awful lot to get by. He's got to get it done in a cornering sector. Because there you go, that's the difference between the Alpine and the difference between the Alfa Romeo. You see Bouma just off in the distance now. It looks like Staber and Reaper both going to fight it out. They're fighting for actual positions here. Reaper not able to do anything into turn 1, and Staber's just going to hold off with that broken front wing for a little bit longer. Will 1.4 seconds back. Going to get both Reaper and Staber, and Truco got to hold himself off here from Rigo on the final lap, but Will also trying to hold himself off from Truco. The Red Bull having a little bit of pace but not a lot. Robbie gets 10 seconds for corner cutting. I'm pretty sure he's about to get disqualified. As we're going to go through the middle of the sector, second sector for one last time. Rigo not close enough, Truco not close enough, and it looks like Reaper's not close enough to stay able to make something work either. Maybe if they go through the straights at the end, but Reaper's got to keep himself close enough for that to happen. And they're going to go up through the final corner now as Joe is well on the way. He's up through the final one now, and he's all alone in Brazil over the line. And he's done it! He becomes the second repeat winner of the season in the Williams to, well, extend his lead on the championship. Bouma comes second, Sven not able to make the move work, ends third, Will comes fourth, Truco fifth, Rigo sixth, Staber 7th, Reaper 8th, Donnie well back 9th, Millsy 10th, Gunning Byrne going to end 11th, Noof 12th, Robin and Saeed both in the middle of nowhere. And that is the end of race 1. Joe extends on Will, he extends on Staber, and he extends on Rigo as well. So that 40-point gap now opening up even further. The real question now is who can actually stop him. Who can actually stop Joe at this point? There you go, that's the end of the race as we see Robin cross the line on the lead lap. He got away with it after his, well, let's just say that's a bad day at the office for Robin. Joe there on the top step of the podium. Thoroughly deserved. He had to make it. He had to work for it though. Bouma never gave it up easy. But Bouma has to settle for second for the second race in a row. Not able to make it. Not really able to make himself be on the top step. Looks like Rigo's not entirely happy here with Truco. Bloodwave keeping up his record of getting pole and then fully bottling it. At this point, Bloodwave's got to be heading towards getting a bottle tag at some point. Because he is starting to throw away more things than what me and Swenton and Staber have been doing. We had, that's the end of race 1. Joe takes it. You've got Bouma in second, Swen in third, Will in fourth. You got the two guys at the top of the championship there, first and fourth. Truco fifth, Rigo sixth, Staber seventh, Reaper eighth. Donny in ninth despite the internet issues. We're going at 40, so we're not actually going, we're not waiting that long. I'm going to take a drink in the meantime. Session no longer exists. Don't exactly know what's happened to there. Oh, Alu's here. So we're going to go with a little bit more in the next race. 16 at Hungary. What can go wrong, especially if it's raining? If it's raining, who's Valtteri Bottasing into the corner? Looking through some of the steward submissions for GT in particular. And it's quite funny. I need to do that after the race, actually. Alright then, we shouldn't be that far away from going, couple minutes. In the meantime, how's everyone's day? I've had a pretty good day myself. Got to pick out cake for tomorrow and all that. Can't wait for the ping from the bot tomorrow though. Well, here we go. I'm 39 now. Did I see your bottle? Yes. Of course I did. Sven, at this point, I think we're not the only people bottling. Me, you, and Staber have to have that tag. And I think Bloodwave might be joining us. At this point, I think Bloodwave has earned the tag. Honestly, you at least you got top 3. Imagine Bloodwave going into first and then bottling it at turn 3. Imagine. Could never be me, mainly because I haven't actually driven Brazil this year. I've only driven it on GT. Because Ryan seems insistent of having Hungary is impossible to overtake. I mean, it's not impossible to overtake if you can capitalize on people's mistakes. There's a couple of chances. In particular, the straight. The straight's going to be the key. 100%. But yeah. We still have one more race to go. Hungary is just one of those. I'm glad I'm commentating because the more I drive that track, the less I like it. .41. We should be pretty much gearing up to go now. But we've got 7 readied up. We're meant to go at 40. Let's see if that's changed, because that should not have changed. Apologies, I did not actually think my remote was that low. Clearly it was. Clearly my remote was that low and it's just died on me. Also apparently failed at opening curtains. Tell we're hitting summertime. Looks like we're ready to go. Well, we're not hitting summertime, we're heading towards winter, so you can tell that yeah, it's already getting dark. I'm not used to this. But yeah, headed into Hungary now. One-shot qualifying at Hungary is still going to be a little bit all over the place. Let's see how many people crash, because quite a technical track. It's just annoying, not a lot to be able, you can't do an awful lot within the actual track limit, within the actual track limits. It's just a bit janky to drive, in my opinion anyway, from what I've driven of it. But yeah, here we go. As we go down the straight here at Hungary then. And it looked like Bloodwave's hit straight to the front. Bloodwave's straight line speed obviously having a little bit of a advantage here. He's got a good setup for straight line speed, clearly. Donny currently in second, dropped to 5th now as Swen, Joe and Staber go through. Bloodwave looking for another pole, but this time looking to convert it rather than just bottling it like he did last time. Bottled it in Brazil, I'm pretty sure it's not his only pole of the season as well. that he hasn't converted it into a win. We've had 7 winners in 9 races. The 2 double winners coming in the Williams for Joe, who's now won 2 of the races, and for Staber, that's won 2 of the races. Currently sits 2nd and 4th in the qualifying at the moment. Rigo flying through and then had an absolute nightmare and spun very obviously. He was doing well, then he bottled the qualifying, because of course he did. Robin looked like he's trying to have a good go at it, but it's going to be Bloodwave in the Alfa Romeo, sorry, by about a 10th of a second. Never really in doubt. Took it from the start, took it at the finish, puts himself on pole for yet another race. But he has Joe behind him waiting to pounce this time. Staber in 3rd. So you've got the 2 dual winners sitting 2nd and 3rd, trying to fight Bloodwave this time. Swed currently sitting in 4th in the Alfa Romeo. Robin 5th. Donny 6th. Had a good sector at one point, just fell off toward the end. Mildy in 7th of the Aston Martin. Seems about average for where he can put himself at this point. Truco in 8th. Well, considering he did get a chance to try and convert the 2nd in Brazil, he's got a lot of work to do here. Alu in 9th in the AlphaTauri. I thought he would do a little bit better than that, but maybe that's just because this is his first lap on F1 at the moment. But yeah, here we go. It's pretty dry race this time. So we get to see the proper setups and see who got a good setup for the dry. Because Joe took enough time to get a setup for the wet and managed to work his way through the pack and win at the end. But let's see if Bloodwave can make it count this time. He was in control quite easily at Brazil until he made the mistake. He's got a chance of redemption here. There we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, away we go. Who's gonna get a better start here? Doesn't look like it's gonna give me a good camera angle, but it doesn't look like Joe did. It looked like Staber got a better start from everyone else. Bloodwave gonna take first into the first corner. Staber in 2nd. There's a little bit of a spin behind there, and Joe's been taken out. Joe to 15th. We've had a problem at the back. Robin's going to go alongside Swen here. They're going to go 3rd and 4th. Into turn 4. It looked like a few people moved up. Alu dropped from 9th to 6th on the first corner. Truco stayed 8th. And Joe dropped to the back. Donny dropped to the back. Couple of people not having that go they fully intended to. Mildy moved up to 5th in all that commotion as well. So few people gained a huge amount. Oh, Swen's gone. Swen's gone. That's a wall. He's taken too much of the outside curb for certain. There's someone else gone back there as well. Someone else had an absolute nightmare in that corner. Swen's back up and running, but he didn't last. Saeed's going deep into every corner in existence. It looks like Staber has already cleared Robin. And it looks like that means Staber and Bloodwave are going to fight this one out. We've got 2 people behind, Alu and Mildy. Mildy's going to have the inside line. Alu going the long way round into turn 1. And he's going to... Oh, Mildy gone. Mildy gone. Mildy gone. That was not touched. He's managed to save the car from the wall at the very least. He's going to lose 4 or 5 positions in the process. Maybe even another one on Boomer here. They're going to go too wide through the corner. Boomer the long way round. And it looked like he also is going to have a fight here with Cunning Fern, who's not quite able to capitalise on Mildy's mistake from earlier. Reaper 2nd behind El Truco, who's gained a couple of positions up into 6th at the moment. Will in 5th. going to try and eke back the advantage that Joe created, or extended in Brazil. Bloodwave and Staber very much clear at the moment. 1.4 seconds up the road. In first and second, Robin in third, and well, we look like we're going to have an Alfa Romeo Williams battle again, this time for the lead of the race, and this time it's the other two drivers for the cars that are going to go at it. Swen's dropped to 16th after his spin. He's well back. I think he had to pit as well. Alu sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Robin's closing in ever so slightly. DRS now enabled, and Robin's got to get a move on, otherwise Alu's going to be coming from behind and through the pack, maybe to challenge Staber and Bloodwave here. Truco just not fast enough to get anywhere near Will at the moment. Will having a bit more pace than what we usually see of him in sprint in particular. This season he seems to be doing pretty well where he is. He is just inside the DRS range on Alu Palu at the moment though. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's a Red Bull, it's Noof. It's not Truco. Truco usually does spin, but it's not Truco that spun this time. Noof to the back of the grid. Or at the back of the grid that everyone but Swen. And Staber's still holding in on Bloodwave here. These two got to go around and try and capitalise on what they have at the moment. Robin's still 1.2 seconds behind. Alu about 9/10, not able to close in an awful lot. He actually might just be outside of DRS range going down the straight here. Not entirely sure if I see that wing open on the AlphaTauri. I do actually. Looks like he just about sneaked in then. Will doesn't, neither does Truco, but Reaper does. And so does Boomer behind that. And it looks like Reaper's had a little bit of a nightmare through turn 1, a little bit too wide. Yellow flag in sector 1, it's Rigo. Rigo's gone. Yeah, Rigo has crashed in turn 1. Well, what's the damage looking like? Doesn't look like he got any, luckily. Staber's closing in the gap at the moment on Bloodwave. They might be going at it towards the middle of this race. Staying within about half a second of the well, English. Not my strong point apparently tonight. Staying within half a second of each other. Yellow flag in sector 2 is Saeed is gonna need a new car. Gonna need a new and a few new setups as well. I had a nightmare today, just a really bad day at the office. 6/10 now between Staber and Bloodwave. DRS should be able to bring that Williams closer in. And they're going to go through the final corner now. Staber cornering a slight bit better than Bloodwave at the moment. Going to get a better exit here as well, and DRS is going to launch him with that better exit toward that Alfa Romeo. Not close enough to the Alfa Romeo though as they go into turn 1. It looked like Alu was close to Robin as well, just not close enough. The DRS into turn 3 is just not having it. And they're going to have to settle for another lap behind each other. Well, Reaper was closing in for a moment on Truco, but Truco again proving a tricky customer to pass. No one actually passed him yet. I think actually only Alu after the commotion on lap 1. The only one that oh, where's Donny? That's Donny. Let's see if the game hasn't cleared up before it's a safety car as well. So we're going to bring everyone closer together. And well, honestly, tyres, everyone on the soft should be very much heading in the direction of pitting onto the medium tyres now. Certainly would be surprised to see any of the soft runners not pit at the very least. Take the... Oh, Bloodwave! Bloodwave gets saved literally by the bell. But by the game, auto reset in the pits has saved Bloodwave from embarrassingly crashing out. That's caught on stream as well. Oh, Bloodwave. Oh, God. That is... Yeah, you aren't going to get away with that. Yeah, that's... You might get something for that one, I think. Well, you won't get penalties for it, but stick might be in turn for that one. Boomer and Reaper stayed out because they're on the medium tyres still, and 13 laps on the sauce would be a death wish. Cutting Fern stayed out, which is rather surprising. Probably should have taken the time to go to mediums and take the advantage of everyone else that hadn't pit beforehand. Staber on the medium tyre, well and truly in the best position now. Bloodwave losing 4 positions, or 3 positions, to technically in 4th now, as a result of a extreme put on the throttle in the pit lane of all places. You gotta say, from just straight up DNFing because of the game won't allow you to spin in the pit lane and wedge yourself. You got away with one there. But he did say he couldn't wait to find out how he botched up being on pole. Well, that's how he's done it this time. That's a rather impressive way to do it this time. Swen's gonna get away with being put right on the back of everyone. His race was pretty much dead until this point. He should be getting he'll get a second chance now though. Maybe to start making his way through the pack as we go along. We're gonna have one more lap under the safety car, a lot of people to catch up. I think Rigo just had a nightmare of things. But Jesus. There's a lot of things expected to happen. Oh, Swen's gone into the pit. On to softs. Okay. That might be a bit of a stretch. But we'll wait and see at the end. He's taken the gamble. He's obviously got nothing to lose. It's a gamble because he's in 50th. But under the safety car, which probably will be coming in on this lap. Lap 7 of 18. Will be on lap 8 when we go back racing. And Reaper's going to lead us in. There's still got a few people in. Although, so I see decided not to race the second race. Either that or game crashed, one of the two. But it's going to be Reaper from Boomer from Cunningfern in the Mercedes. That's probably going to have a good shot at the start of this at the restart here. And you've got Staber in 4th, but Net P1. Robin in 5th, Alu, then Bloodwave, then Will, then Truco, who's got 5 seconds for a severe collision, and then you've got Mildy that gets 5 seconds for a severe collision as well, and well, that caused a domino effect because Joe got one as well. So it looked like, oh, here we go, we're gone, Reaper's gone, and I think he might have caught Boomer sleeping a little bit here. He definitely caught Boomer sleeping a little bit there. 8 tenths, 9 tenths. We've got Cutting Fern right behind Boomer on soft tyres that might be able to make a go at this. Into turn 1, isn't actually able to do anything. Here comes Staber. Onto the back of Cutting Fern, might be able to make easy work of this. If not this lap, he'll make easy work on the next. Might be too close, he might have to go for it here. Maybe down the inside, maybe just tacks himself onto the back of that Mercedes and isn't too bothered by dropping back a little bit. He think he's found it easier just to preserve his car for now and then go later when everyone pits. Should be able to launch it by that point. Robin a little bit slower behind him though, as Alu is definitely catching up. Oh, Cunningford gone. Oh, Vitor, hello. How are you? It's been a while. Yeah, Reaper's won a racing sprint, believe it or not. I know, it's been a while since we... but yeah, Reaper won a week or so ago. But yeah, he's in first until pits for this one. Staber's the one that's currently leading. Staber's currently leading though. Staber's had one of those seasons where it's a DNF or a thing. Yeah, we miss you as well, mate. How's life going? Also, Bloodwave and Alu here we go. Down into turn 3. Looks like Alu's going to have the inside line here, but Bloodwave's going to have the inside of the following corner. There's a little bit of contact on the rear wheel. But it isn't enough to change positions or send anyone flying, so it looks like it was respectful driving between the two Tier 1 drivers, Bloodwave and Alu there. The Alfa Romeo was in the lead of this race, was in a very comfortable position of, well, fighting Staber. Those two were very comfortable before the safety car came out as a result of Donny crashing. The safety car did not go well for Bloodwave, as he eventually may or may not have spanned in the pit lane. Now Truco trying to go at will here, a little bit too far back, and it's going to cause Joe to clip the back of that Red Bull. And those 5-second penalties are going to kill 3 drivers there, 8th, 9th and 10th. Drop them quite a decent way back. Confirmed spins immediately after the safety cars definitely hindered his chance of anything. He might as well take his pit now and hope the safety car comes out. We're heading into lap 10. It shouldn't be too long before the pit stops for Boomer and Reaper at the front of the grid, so he's got a pit as well. Everyone else has served their pit stop that they need to do. There's only 3 left. And we've got, what, 8-9 laps left of the race. And Boomer is trying to close that gap into Reaper at the moment. And Staber just tactfully keeping himself right behind both of them so he can launch himself when these two decide to pit. The safety car screwing Boomer and Reaper over quite badly. Because one thing's for sure, they're going to end in absolute nowhere in this race now. They're going to go into the pit. They're going to come out around where Nooth is. And their race is going to be well and truly over. That's without another safety car anyway. Staber a little bit deep into the second to last. Not able to do an awful lot to try and take Boomer on here. Robin has caught back up in the other Alpine, sorry. And we're going to get down into turn 1 again, lap 11. DRS now available. It's not going to help any one of the top 5 though, because everyone had DRS. Mildy and Rigo going through the 2 Aston Martins against each other there in turn 1. Looks like Rigo's won that little bit of a battle though. Swen with the tyres has got into the grass. Not entirely sure what Swen's plan was there. They're not 1-2. They're not even going to be close, Ross. They haven't pit. Safety car's been out. The rest of them have. Boomer and Reaper are going to end outside the top 10. Unless there's spins. Then they might be in the top 10. They have to pit for soft later on. It's Staber that's going to be in first. He's going to be slowly closed behind by Robin here, the Alpine. Staber looks for his own move, knowing that Alpine is closing in behind. And that's... Oh, yellow flag! Saeed's out! Safety car might help him if it does come out. Yellow flag! It's safety car time! And it's going to help Reaper and Boomer as they come right into the pit lane immediately. Oh, wow, I've never seen more of a commentator's curse than that. I don't think they're going to win, but... They're not going to win because it come way too close off the back of a different safety car, but... It's certainly not been a great day at the office for Saeed, and it's... Well... After all this, Joe's actually been helped out, realistically. Here's a collision in turn 1, I think was with Donny, and, well, it did look like Will was going to shut the door, well, close the gap, sorry, on Joe's championship lead that he did extend in the first race as he won in Brazil in the wet, right at the end. As Bouma came second in that race. So Bouma has had a good day of racing. He's going to be able to have a go at a few people here. Sven on soft tires as well, maybe have a good go at some. Joe and Mildy still have their penalties to serve though. So it might open the door for some of those guys on the soft later on in the race. But Bouma overtook Reaper in the pits, yeah? Yeah, must have got held up. Either that, he could have done the, Reaper could have done the Bloodwave version of things and span in the pits. It's one of the first times I've seen what happen on F1, that's for sure. So, especially on races I've commentated, I'm not usually accustomed to people spinning in the pit lane. Got saved by the game auto resetting him to track because the game doesn't usually see people spin in the pit lane. So it's just like, yeah, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but Bloodblade would have been out on the pit lane line if that wasn't a thing. We got Staber that's going to lead it in this time. Staber first, Robin second. Everyone has pit now, so what we have is what we have. Everyone is going to be fighting for position from here on out with what will be 5 laps of the race. When you've got that little left of the race, then it becomes a shootout from here. Staber to Robin to Bloodwave, who realistically has a second chance now. Alu in 4th. Also might be able to put on some pressure, especially on Robin, maybe Steven Staber, the tyre car difference. Joe 6th, gonna be hindered by the penalty for sure. Will in 5th, gonna have to take advantage of Joe's penalty to close the gap in here. But here we go, safety car in this lap. Staber's going to be the one that leads us in. It's whether or not Staber can go at a time where he's going to catch the rest of them sleeping. Everyone needs to start catching up. If you start a second back under a safety car, it's never usually a good idea. Are we going now? We are going now, and Staber out the corner straight away has got a gap and a half. Robin's definitely been caught sleeping out the exit of that corner, and Rigo spun before he even hit the end of the safety car. Rigo spins off the final corner and gonna have to embarrassingly stroll into the pits, I'm pretty sure. That's quite unfortunate. Into 40, down to 14th goes Rigo, and well, after winning a race in the last week or so, it's just not been able to capitalise on it today. Bouma trying to go after Sven. It looks like the front 3 all caught each other out sleeping in that safety car. It's also all got quite the gap. Alu suffering 8/10 of a gap as well, so the top 4 separate by a decent chunk. 8/10 separating Alu and Will as well. 3 seconds for Noof, who sits in 11th at the moment. Going to give Truco a position. That's a shot. Joe currently 2 seconds ahead of Mildy. And the longer that Mildy is holding everyone up behind, the better it is for Joe. It isn't as good news for Will in front of him. Staber already cleared the DRS distance from Robin. There's about a second between the two now. Bloodwave closing in on Robin at the same time. Alu and Will losing out. Joe is now within 3.5 tenths of Will, and Mildy 2.2 seconds further back. Sven and Bouma on softs are going to have a go at him eventually. I think Boomer's going to have a go at Sven first. With fresh softs, might be able to do something here in a bit of a drag race. The Alpine's engine not great, so it's going to be Sven that wins that drag race. Yellow flag in sector 1, and Noof and Reaper It's new from Reaper that collided there. And that is not good news for Reaper, who's gone from what was leading the race to second to last. Here comes Sven on the outside here of Mildy. That's a little bit of a squeeze there for the Aston Martin, and Bouma right to the back of the Alfa Romeo as well. A little bit of contact. God, they went through the second sector there into the chicane now. No one's dumb enough to go too wide through there. Robin closed in within a second now of Staber, as DRS definitely going to play its factor now. But down the grid, you got Bouma and Swan still trying to go after Mildy, who's now 2.8 seconds behind Joe. So the longer we go here, it looks like Joe will only drop to, well, what will be 10th. What will be 9th, sorry, because Mildy will take 10th. Swan had to get out of the way of Mildy, who had an awful corner. It's going to allow for Bouma here to go down the line with fresh tyres into turn 1, maybe even on Mildy as well. Swan's got the better of both of them by the looks of it at the moment. It looks, oh, there goes Mildy. Mildy too much throttle there on the outside of turn 1. And Truco also got himself through before that actually happened. Swan holding off Bouma for a slight bit longer. The Aston Martins not enjoying their times, neither did the McLarens. Will enjoying his time in a Haas at the moment. It's like he's been able to do an awful lot this season, seemingly enjoying himself in sprint. Rigo sets the fastest lap of the entire race. Not going to do an awful lot though. Bouma still on the back of Swen, who's followed by Truco as well, tailing off this train of 3. All of which will get the position on Joe at the moment, who is still trying to fight with Will. Rigo gets 3 seconds worth of penalties as we go on to lap 17 now. DRS for Robin, who's going to try and close in there on Staber as he goes into turn 1. He's not closed in enough. Bloodwave also fighting at the back of this 3. And it looked like Alu dropped off quite the distance. Will as well, up the back of Alu, and Alu's just in no man's land. Currently sat in 4th, the 3 in front, all fighting. Bouma and Swen also going to go fighting. Bouma with the inside line though. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not entirely sure who that's for. It's a Red Bull, it's Noof again. These two are still going too wide as we go through the middle of sector 2. And Swen lost a multitude of positions there. Lost a couple of multiple positions. Rigo's crashed again in the same spot out of that final corner. Outside the second last, sorry. I have to pit again. Nope. He's had a little bit, but it looks like he's had another spin. Maybe 2 hot tyres. Rigo gets 5 seconds also for speed in the pit lane. That was just an awful corner for Rigo there, wasn't it? He's out. Yeah, not too surprising. Truco and Bouma have to get a move on now. They're closing it. They have to close in that gap to Joe with his 5 seconds, who's still fighting Will, and he's not been able to get past yet. But they go through sector 3. Yellow flag for still there for Rigo. But they go into turn 1. It looked like Bloodway was able to get Robin down the inside now. Might be trying to fight it back. Something happened there. Yellow flag in sector 1. He's gone round. Robin's gone round. That took a long time for that camera to turn round, but Robin has gone round. Maybe a collision with Bloodwave there. And Staber now has a second gap with well, less than a lap to go. Bloodwave goes incredibly deep into the first corner of the second sector. Joe's still fighting with Will after all this. Bouma closed in within 4/10 of a second. Truco and Robin both going to go fighting. Truco goes round and is able to take that position off Robin as well. Bloodwave a second back, so there's not an awful lot that can happen here. Swen going to fight with Robin as well. Swen down the, well, he goes the long way round on Robin here actually, and he's able to make it stick. And here we go, through the second to last. Staber, whenever he's not been able to put in a wall, he's looked dominant, sorry, and he's gone round the final corner. And he's done it again here in Hungary, and he's a 3-time winner on the season. Bloodwave, close but not close enough. Is that Joe? Just Joe! Joe spun on the final corner! Joe's just spun on the final corner. And with the 5-second penalty, has just lost a chunk of positions. What have I just witnessed? Joe has just dropped from 5th. Well, would have dropped a couple positions with the penalty anyway. But dropped straight to 12th. After the crash in the final corner. But it's Staber that wins his 3rd race now. We've had 7 winners from 10. Staber's won 3. Joe's won 2. But Staber can't keep his car on the track in the other races enough to keep himself toward the front of the grid when it comes to the championship. And to be honest, it's only just leveled out today, so probably still rounding around the 40-point mark at the end of the day. Well, we had Williams of Joe on the top step. Earlier on, we've got the Williams of Staber on the top step today. After taking some time off from Tier 1, after what happened in Sprint last week with the spins. Definitely came, well, didn't handle the wet, but redeems himself in the dry. And that's all it's about for Staber at this point. Bloodwave gets 2nd in the end after his mistake well and truly cost him. Alu comes 3rd after the crash there for Robin. Will comes 4th, but he's definitely closed the gap in on this race to Joe, who had extended the gap, but not by anywhere near as much as I don't think in the first race. Bouma comes 5th after a 2nd in Brazil. Not the worst day of driving for Bouma. Swen gets 6th. Truco gets 7th. It continues to prove a very tricky customer to pass. Robin 8th after his crash. Cunning 9th. Reaper 10th after his collision with Noof, who comes 11th. Joe comes 12th. Mildy comes 13th. And a lot of things happen there. But with that was one hell of a day. But with that, I think we're done for Sprint. We're done with Sprint for today at the very least. Don't forget to continue on for the next few weeks. We're on 10 of 22 at the moment. Also, don't forget Thursday, Tier 1. I do a commentary for that. If you want to tune in. But till then, peace.